How's it? Sean from Combat Simulations. Welcome to the Getting Started tutorial for Panzer Campaigns. So before we get started, please subscribe to my channel, it's free, and also leave comments and suggestions, and watch my videos and share them and like them. It helps me a lot, I promise you, it really does. Alright, Panzer Campaigns demo, Rumbling on the Mius. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Turns 9. John Tiller Software is the designer. Date 17th July 1943, size is small. Location Nova, I suppose I can't pronounce that, 30 kilometers north of Rostov on the southern part of the Russian front. Scenario is designed for play as a Russian human versus the AI, using the Getting Started PDF, quick start guide, and also be sure to see the player PDF available in the help menu. Okay, scenario briefing. The Mius River flows south through the Ukraine in the area around Rostov, where it empties into the Sea of Azov. Okay. Yeah, after the failure of the Kursk offensive, the Soviets began preparation to attack this heavily fortified sector known as the Mius Line. The action begins with dawn's first light as several Russian and Russian Guards Rifle Division begin their assault at the critical sector of the core boundary between the 294th Infantry Division of the, I think that's 17th Army Corps in the north, and the 336th Infantry Division of the, I can't, Roman numerals, I don't know what that is, 31 or 2, Army Corps in the south. This is an infantry assault in force through the minefields to overwhelm the defenders. With it and the larger scenario covering the whole sector, you will learn through practice how to assault bunkers, how to disrupt if you can before assaulting. You'll also learn to deal with minefields and the importance of small-scale tactics in the operational scale. Good luck and enjoy. Recommended rules default. Okay, so we're just going to make sure now we play. Oh no, there the access is automatic with and the rules will just keep as default, like the thing says. All right, let's go in. Okay, so it's dawn. Dawn turn. Air units are available. All right, that's a command report. And with all of these, I've switched off the background sound, just because if I put it on, it tends to get a bit loud and then you can't hear and whatever. So it's just best to leave that thing off. I usually play with the sounds on. I like the background sounds, but not while I'm doing a video. Okay, so let's getting started. Alright, let's see if we can, what are we, actual size, eh? Alright, am I recording? That's the most important thing, yeah, recording. Okay, so here's the menu on top, the toolbar. You see the tool to terrain information. So if you watched my, let me put that over there. If you watched my Panzer battles getting started, you'll see that this Panzer campaign is very, very close. You see here, it's got the order of battle here, the hard attack. First is hard attack and then distance, soft attack and then the distance, assault 9, AA 2, and distance defense, speed, foot. Very similar to Panzer battles. Very, very similar. So, yeah, the only thing is difference is that squad battles is 40 Ks per hex. Panzer battles is 250 Ks per hex. And Panzer campaigns is 1K per hex. That's really a big difference you've got to remember. Alright, it is the summer of 1943 on the Russian front. The Germans' last gasp attack in the east. The Kursk offensive has failed and the Panzers have been withdrawn, giving up hard-fought ground for it. Hard-fought ground. It is now time for the Soviets to begin their counter-offensive at many places along the front line. One such place is Army Group South sector of the Donbass, along the North Donetsk and Mius rivers. Welcome to Panzer Campaigns demo. Mius 43, the scenario represents the first move in the Russian attack along on the Mius. The Mius River flows through the Ukraine in the area around Rostov, where it empties into the Sea of the Azov. The Soviets prepare to attack the heavily fortified region known as the Mius Line. The action begins at first light dawn. I think we read all this. Several Russian and Russian Guards begin their assault at a critical sector of the core boundary. So we've read all that. This is an infantry assault force through minefields to overwhelm the defenders.
Okay, so this is just explaining this thing here. So here's the map icons. There's all the shortcut keys. There's the menus. Here's the units. You see that? Here's the units. This is the hex information. Here's the 4 o'clock in the morning, 17th of July, 1943, turn 1 of 9, normal conditions, and it's dawn. And here we showed, here's a turn 1. This was nighttime, and this just gives us a flow of the turn. And each hex has a number related to it, like 16, 10. You see that? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it with my badge there, but there's a number there that reflects that number over there. Okay, so and then the status bar, turn progression, ground. Okay, we've done all this. We got all this. We did pick that. Hang on. Yeah, we did pick that, and now we got to go on this side. And then we got this. Air units available, dawn turn. Right, the map now we can start reading. The map will now appear on your screen along with your first command report. A command report will appear at the start of every turn and contains useful information. The first command report at the beginning of the game is fairly brief, without much critical information. However, it does tell you that air units are available. You will come back to air units later. Click OK to proceed. We did that. Okay. On the menu bar, click on the info, then victory. Yeah. Victory. Okay, this just tells us what the points are. We need 250 for a major. We need 150 points for a minor and a major defeat. So it draws between 100 and 150 points. If we get anywhere there, then 50 is a major defeat. All the units are worth points, so we use units. If we use units, it's added up here against us on our points value, and him the same. Let me get back here. Okay, yeah. As you can see, to obtain a major victory in battle, you must earn 250 victory points by the scenario's end. If you get 150 points, you earn a minor victory. With 100 points, you get a draw, and less than 100 points, you get into defeat levels. Okay, clicking on the plus, we'll zoomed in. That's that. We zoom in and zoom out. I can use your mouse. You see, this now goes right into this. This is a little bit different. We didn't get this zoom. This level of this kind of detail, 3D kind of detail. We didn't get that. And then we get up above that. So as we zoom in and zoom out, we get right down there. And we can also zoom in with this and zoom out with this. You see that button where I'm pressing my mouse. Okay. You can also display the place names on the map by holding the shift key. To leave them displayed, hold down the shift key and then press. But that shift key doesn't work, man, because I'm pressed the shift key and it just doesn't work. He's talking about this, I suppose. Yeah, this is where you can see all the place names and all the hills and the names of the cities and all that stuff. Okay, so where are we? If you look at the map, you'll see several flags with the values of 50, 100, and 150. These are our objectives. All right, so there we go. We've got 100, we've got 50, and we've got 150. Okay. To win a major victory, you need to capture and hold a combined point total of 250 points from points for destroying enemy units plus objectives. As you incur losses, points will be taken away from you. For example, you could obtain a major victory by capturing all 3 objectives, worth a total of 300 points, while suffering 50 points of losses greater than you inflicted on your enemy. Alternatively, you can capture only 150 point objective and inflict 100 points in casualties that you incur yourself. So it's flexible. On the map, you'll see many units. The brown ones are your Russian units, and the red ones are your Russian Guard units. Okay, do not worry. We do have the red ones. You see, there's the red ones here. I've actually switched this off. This kind of like highlights the division organizational things. So there's let's take this thing off so you can see it. So there, these are guards units. See there, and then these are regular ordinary. We'll just put the division command thing on. Yeah, okay. Do not worry. The front line is defined by a line of symbols representing minefields. Some mines are stronger than others, as shown by the yellow value. All right. There is also one enemy unit visible in the gap in the mines. This unit is shown as a yellow square, is a blue colored So he's talking about this. So there's the shit. This is visible. There's only one unit. And we can see the numbers next to the mines. See two, that's 2 mines. And it even shows you a graphic of it. And there's 1 mine, 2 mines. See the 2 next to it. That's what he's talking about there. Terrain information shows visibility is 1K. Because friendly units are next to the German units, the German unit is shown on the map at the start of the turn because it's next to it. And we can't see more further because it's dawn. And you'll see that it's only 1K. That's 1 hex. Okay, each hex is 1K across. Visibility and ranges are all expressed in kilometers and counted in hexes. Now we've got to go across here. Yeah, now we just remember this. Okay, where are we now? Okay, there are more Germans. You just cannot see them yet. In the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the time indicator. The red block marks the current time as the first turn of the night. Notice the block shows a little gray. It's dawn. Okay, as you can see from the status bar, it's actually 4 o'clock, 17th July, 1943, Russian turn. Hey, it's brilliant how the attention to detail in this game. Okay, so there's where he's talking about. 4 o'clock, 17th July, 1943, Russian turn 1 of 9. And then at the bottom here, he's talking about this. You see there, it's now dawn, and there is a little grey there. I think that's the grey he's talking about. Okay, turn 1. Panzer Campaigns is a turn-based game. Side 1, the Russians in the scenario perform all actions, moving, firing, calling in artillery or air support, in any order you like. Each unit action costs movement points, or MPs, to be expended. When you are done with all your units, you want to move and fire, you end the turn. Okay. Then the second player, in this case it's the A, will play the turn. After both players have taken turns, time is advanced 1 game turn, or 2 hours of real time in the cycle, and then the cycle is repeated. Okay. Towards the center of the map, you will see a cluster of units that now have a purple background color on the unit type. So he's talking about this. I actually put this on here. I put this on with the previous games because it just gives you the indicator what regiments or what divisions they belong to. Yeah. Yeah, color set. Click on the unit indicated by the yellow arrow. Okay, that unit. It is a Russian infantry unit. A red box or hotspot will appear in the hex. Okay, so I will click on there. Let me click on there. He's talking about this one. Yeah, there it is. There, I've clicked on it. And red. See, it's highlighted by red. The unit picture will now appear above the terrain box. Okay, got it. There's the terrain box, and there's what's the information is in there. Okay, let's go. The unit picture. We're gonna try and do everything first, read everything, and then do it, and then read. So we'll try and do this in little pieces as we go. Alright, so the unit picture shows an image that is representative of the unit type, and you can see the unit is made up of 397 men. As this is the maximum strength of the unit, the percentage value of 100% is shown in brackets. You can also see the morale is D, not great, and the unit has 21 movement points. Fatigue is 0, meaning the unit is fresh. When a unit fights, fatigue levels build up and becomes less effective until it is rested. It's the same as Panzer battles. The same thing here. See, morale D, fatigue 0, movement points. And everything in these games is centered around movement points. Everything you do, firing, shooting, moving, everything. This is like your action points, this movement. Each unit's got this movement. So everything's taken from your movement points. Okay. To further check in the details, we can right click on it. You'll see, you'll see the chain of command. Okay. For the unit's combat factors with speed in kilometers per hour as shown on the right side. Some units may display speciality functions such as engineer or recon. So same as Panzer battles. There's the order of battle. It's hard. It tells you it's hard. It's attack value and its range. Soft attack value and range. Assault is, I think that's 9. 9. Anti-aircraft attack value and range. Defensive yeah, it's defense, it's speed, and it's in foot. So that's all this is. It's very similar to Panzer battles. Very, very similar. Just a higher level. Practice moving is you're now going to move this unit closer to the front. Double click to select this unit on the map, or left click on the unit box so the unit box lights up. It will now be selected and ready for orders. It's time to move one hex forward. So he wants to move there. So he's talking about yeah, he's talking about there, behind there, but we'll just see what he says first. To do this, right click on the adjacent hex, the one directly southwest, or hold down the left or hold down and left of the selected hold down the left key and move it. You will jump the unit will jump to the new hex. Hold down and left of the unit, left click of the unit. I know. If you issue an order, movement otherwise, and your unit does not obey the order, look at the status bar at the bottom left to see a message telling you why it can't be performed. So this is a good thing because we can see it tells you no units have been selected. So and even if you select it, you cannot move to an adjacent because it's telling you at the bottom here. See, yeah, it's telling you there. Okay, so where was this guy going to move? He was going to move next to him. We best just move it. Okay. Okay, so I've moved him next. There's the unit. Now move. That part's done. In this case, you can look at the unit in the window. You'll see that you have now moved. You have moved now was 15 with 15 movement points remaining. He had 21. Remember, and remember, open movement in open terrain is 6 movement points for infantry and moving vehicles. If I'm not mistaken, it's 6. So he had 21. He moved, so it cost him 6 points. It was open terrain, so it's now 15. Okay. In case you can always see, let me show you the parameters data. See this parameters data? Yeah, it tells you what your movement, all the limitations. See the movement cost per foot, 6 per foot for foot. 6 also movement. Yeah, he tells you about, and then all the costs of it per foot, and the movement ski, and the movement bicycle, movement cost horse 8. So each one is different. Yeah, so each one is different. It's not always the same, but that's for infantry. Okay, yeah. So he's now having expended 6 movement points to move 1 hex in clear terrain at the same elevation. Let's go up here. I'm going to cross over there. Okay, there are a number of ways to move units in Panzer campaigns. Yet, next you're going to move a unit more than several hexes at a time. The next unit you're going to move is the one shown in the yellow circle on the left. So here. Okay, so he's talking about, let's have a look. Okay, so we've moved. He's talking about this one. Yeah, but he hasn't moved this one. He's moved it in the previous. He told us to move it, but he didn't move this. Now this one, he's going to move to there. So there's a German unit. So it's that one. It's definitely that one, just above the HQ there. Okay, good. Shown in the yellow circle. You are going to move it 3 hexes to the new location shown by the arrow. To do so, first make sure the unit is selected by double clicking on the hex, or putting the cursor on the hex and then single clicking on the unit display. Now, clicking on the unit with the left mouse button and holding the button down, drag the mouse to the new location 3 hexes southwest as indicated by the arrow, and then release the button. Your unit will move to the X. So he's showing us the alternative way instead of going right click. So if we, let me just make sure I get this right. Hang on. There we go. See there. So I double click to make it with select, and then I drag the mouse. I hold the mouse button down. So I double clicked on it to get it. Then I held the mouse button down and I dragged it to it. But you can't always determine the path it takes. See, that's one way of moving, easy way. So we got in there by the thing there. So we did move that one there. All right, that's great. Okay. Yeah, drag it. And the computer will determine the path it takes. So it's wise to drag small distances to control the path. As I said, sometimes when you order a unit to go from A to B, it takes a path you might not expect. With fog of war option and on, meaning you, with the fog of war option, meaning you cannot see the other side's units, you are not permitted to undo your movement should it go somewhere you did not expect. Okay. So far, you've been moving infantry around. Next, we're going to move some artillery and as you see, these units work differently. Place your cursor on the X with the Guards artillery unit shown on the left in the red box. Now I've got to figure out where this thing is. It's got the big HQ. Oh, must be this. Must be this thing, yeah. Must be this, eh? Because there's no other. See, pity doesn't give you. See, he's not a guards unit, so he's talking about this one. But he doesn't give you the clear, precise coordinates, so you know what you're doing. So far, we've been okay. Now you've selected a unit and try and move it. You'll find it will not obey your order if you look at the status. So we're going to try and move it. Okay, so let's just pick it. Cannot move to adjacent X. Cannot move. Okay, so it's telling us it cannot move. Okay, to move the towed guns such as these, you have to take them out of their firing positions, lumber them into the trucks, load up the ammo, pack up any communication gear, and finally put all the vehicles in a mode that's a mode for movement. In the game, we call it travel mode. And this was the same as it was in Panzer Battles, but they didn't show it us. We didn't do that. In Panzer Battles, you had the same thing, travel mode, where you put these. So it's very, very similar. It's almost identical to Panzer Battles. I think there are differences, definitely, but it's the kilometers, the hex per but it's the subtle differences. Now select it and double click on the X. Okay, so I'm going to. Okay, so I've got it, right? With the artillery unit selected on, click change to travel mode button in the toolbar. Okay, so he's talking about this thing there. So if you look at it, is this change? Okay, there we go. Setup required and 24T. Yeah. You'll see a white line. Does a white line appear underneath it? Yeah, it sees a white line. It's got a horse. You see a white line appear at the bottom of the unit and a T next to the movement points in the unit box. Notice that the movement point number dropped from 36 to 24. It takes time to get the unit ready to move, and this is paid in movement points. Also, the artillery unit has to set up again when you take it out of travel mode. Travel mode represents units in a column formation, and for towed artillery being lumbered, for motorized infantry, it means the men are loaded onto the trucks, ready for transport rather than fighting. For tanks, it means they are lined up in column, ready for movement. Units that can travel in both travel mode and non-travel mode will generally be able to move much further in travel mode. However, at the end of their turn, if they remain in travel mode, they are more vulnerable to enemy fire. Therefore, it's best to ensure units in travel mode remain out of harm's way. Yeah, travel mode is, it's like putting your units in the truck and getting ambushed. Okay, with the artillery unit still selected, click on reachable hexes on the toolbar, and the map will line up to highlight where the units will be able to reach, where that unit. So we can. Is this reachable? Yeah. Okay, so let's just check, yeah. Reachable. So it's highlighting where this unit can be. Highlight. With the unit selected, click on the hex and hold and drag the mouse to the destination showed by the arrow. The unit will move off following the road because this is the fastest route. So he wants us to move to there. Okay, so we click it. Ah, there, we went fast, eh? So it's moved along the road, just like you said. We'll take this off. I'm sure we don't need it anymore. Let me just, with the user, move the following road, which is safest. When it reaches the destination, the unit has. Does it have 4 movement? Does it? Does it? Oh, it has 4 movement points remaining. Not enough to go anywhere else. Nor is it enough to change out of travel mode and put the guns back in the line of fire. This unit cannot go any further. Now press the reachable hexes button again to toggle this feature off. You're now ready to evaluate what to do next. Yeah, I've taken everything. So everything's off and he's now in that place. If you had enough movement points remaining and you were close to the front, it might be a good idea to switch out of travel mode by pressing change travel mode button again with the unit selected. However, in this case, you do not have enough. Of course, we want to put it. You don't want to travel with that. Okay, so fire. Okay, so firing and indirect. All right. At the start of the turn, and this turn, there was one single German unit visible. In this next task, you will fire artillery at it. In game turns, this means called the indirect fire, because artillery units cannot normally see the target. Okay, select this artillery unit. Select these here. Okay, so we got this going on here. Okay, so let me just switch it over there. Yeah. At first glance, you'll see a fairly long list of 8 different units you can call on. But if you look closer, you will see that all these units, except the one encircled, are grayed out. When a unit in any list is grayed out, it is available, but it is either out of range or does not have a spotted target. For artillery units to fire, they must meet certain conditions. First, they must be in range, which is fair enough. Secondly, they must have another unit to spot or relay the target information to them. So they must be seen by something else. So they must be in range, obviously, and they must be able to be seen. The click on the third line from the top here with the available artillery units selected. Okay, so let's just click on that. Okay, so there you see the yellow box that went there. That means it's in range and it can shoot that. With any enemy units which are valid targets are highlighted with a yellow square around it, as seen in the image to the right. Okay, if you place a cursor on the map, not the dialogue, you will see now crosshairs are in a circle like a sight on a gun, and you're ready to fire. Right click on the enemy unit. Boom! 3 men. Hey, there should be. You know what? Like the developers should put volume control on this, because the guns are just full blast loud. Eh? There's no like control, just like fine tuning the control of the sound or the battle sounds or nothing. It's one sound fits all. All right, so where are we? A red line will be drawn on the map from the artillery to the target X. You will see a small explosion and a fire marker. The sounds of the guns will be heard, and after which a result will appear on the target. Okay, good. We know about that result. Okay, in this case, the result was we had 6 men, I think. Oh, we had 3. Okay, I'm leaving the box open. Okay, we had in this case, the result was the loss of 4 men for the German unit, as shown in the left. Note the result may differ. Fire is calculated and computerized value attained will vary. The results will vary because right click on the second time because the artillery units have enough to take 2 shots per turn. So let's hit the second. Boom! 4 men. Now can we shoot again? There we go. It's done. Okay. And all takes movement points. Everything revolves and is centered around movement points. All actions, whatever is done by movement points. So it's like an action. It moves your units. It fires. It's very clever that. Now you've got only one source that draws all its stuff from: firing, shooting, or movement points. This is how these Panzer campaigns and battles and squad battles work. Okay, so right click a second time, you don't have to. Okay, other unit types using direct fire can fire up to 3 times if they do not expend any movement points to move prior when firing. Okay, it's always a good idea to fire your artillery early in the turn. That way the enemy is softened up for your barrage before you try to capture the X by assaulting. Next, you're going to try direct fire. With direct fire, your units can actually see the enemy at which they are shooting. Double click on the hex with the 3 Russian units. Double clicking automatically selects all the units in there. Let's talk about this one. So there we now highlighted. See there. Okay, what's he saying? What should we do? Tip: if you do not want to select all the units, you can either place a cursor on the X and then click on the units you want. Okay, so what he's saying here is this thing. You can, okay, let's just take this off. So we can go there and we can select one unit. If we only want to shoot with one unit or move one unit, or we can select 2 and leave this unit to not fire or leave him behind when we move. You understand? So, and then you can select all 3. See how I'm selecting? That's what that little red box is saying. With all infantry units selected in the hex shown above, hold the control button down. You will notice the cursor changes to a cursors, like when you're firing artillery. Right click on the enemy to fire a single shot at it with each of your units. Okay, so let's go do that. So what he means is now I've got a cursor. See there, cursor. And I press the control. Now we can right click. So they're all shooting at that. Okay, we got 6 men. Okay. Okay, there'll be a flash on the target, a sound of gunfire, and as a result, in killed men. The results in killed men in the enemy target X. We got 6. Also, the enemy unit may have returned fire, and you may have suffered some losses yourself. That didn't happen. Opportunity fire. If you click on the enemy X, you will see the target is made up of men. Okay, so it's got XXX. It doesn't fog of war, and it doesn't. You can't right click and get the information on it. Made up men. The strength of the enemy unit is not displayed. The fog of war with fog of war on the XX tells you there are more than 100 men in that place, but less than 1,000 men. When the enemy strength drops below 99 or less, the display will change to 2X's. All right. Okay, that's fair enough. Air support, my favorite. Now recall back in the starting game, the first thing you saw was a command report, right? As you can see, one of the lines in the report said you had air units available for you to use this turn. To further soften up the target, you may use an air mission. Click on the cursor, click your cursor on the hex with the enemy units, and now click call air mission button in the toolbar. So it means this. So we click there, and then we click yeah. Okay, so there's our whole long list of Sturmvik. Can't pronounce it. Okay, air division dialog will appear showing you any available units. Available air units that cannot target the currently selected location will be grayed out. Okay, you'll see that the 206 and the 289th Assault Aviation units are on call. Click on one of the air units. Okay, click on one of the air units in the dialog and then press OK. So I'm going to click there. Oh, so yeah, they flew. The aeroplanes flew. No effect. 26 men. That was 26 men there. Hey, the sounds are mean in this game, eh? Jeez, it's like a bombarded, boom, boom, boom. And it's like you hear the actual fighting. Actually, so as with other combats, the air mission will be conducted against the selected X. The combat results will be displayed on the screen, or the air unit interception message will appear. If your unit gets through all the anti-aircraft fire against your air unit, or all the anti-aircraft carrier against your unit will occur first, with the result of each AA fire displayed. Then you'll be shown the result of your air attack. The results shown in yellow letters are disruptions of a target. So we basically all the AA is taken care of first, and then the final. Then you assault the hex. There's one more. There's one more remaining air unit that you could also use. However, air units used in one turn will often suffer delays before being available again because of the planes being refitted, rearmed, repaired. So it's best not to use them all unless you really need to. Okay, salting. Now you're going to order an assault into the hex occupied by the German unit, as shown in the image to the left. Okay, To enter an enemy occupied unit, you must assault it using only undisrupted units. In this example, we'll use the 3 Russian units next to the German unit that you have been firing at. In fact, the assault will use the same 3 units you used in a direct fire practice, so double click on the X to select the whole stack. Okay, so we're going to just do that. Okay, so we got the, see, it's got a little red background around it. See this little red? That means it's selected. As with movement, there's 2 ways to assault. With the stack selected, you can right-click on the enemy occupied hex, because that is essentially what you're doing, attempting to move 1 hex into the German-held hex, and hopefully displace the defender. Alternatively, you can, with the stack selected, you can hold the left mouse button down and drag the mouse to the German occupied hex. With either method, the result is the same. As status box appears announcing the initiation of an assault. Okay, remember now. Of an assault. Okay, so let's just see what this thing does here. Okay, an assault will trigger defensive fire, which may result in losses or even disruption of a friendly unit. Disrupted units are not allowed to participate in an assault, which may change the effectiveness of the attack. If you feel the assault is ill-advised for any reason, you can cancel order from the menu above assault and cancel order. You can add units from several, okay, this is important, you can add units from several different hexes in the same assault, from several different, however, this is a simple example. You only have one group of units from one hex, with no more to add. Okay, so we don't have any more to add. To resolve the assault, you need to, you know, when I played if you look at the Panzer Battles one, I was right-clicking on this hex. Let me just see here. The results will display. Okay, so now here I was right-clicking there. See there. And I thought this was the assault. So now I was stuck. I don't know why I wasn't. You've got to resolve the assault. You've got to resolve it like that. There's the assault. That's the fire. That's like the pre-fire, the opportunity fire when you're assaulting. That's just a shooting before the assault. You've got to physically go and result it. And you can add guys to the assault. If you had guys around there, you could add them to this assault and then do one resolve of assault. Yeah. So, okay, so to resolve the assault, you need to press the resolve assault button. It didn't say that there. It just said, if I can remember, the Panzer Battles just said right-click on the hex. And I was right-clicking and not going. And it was shooting that thing where it was shooting. I thought, that's an assault. What's going on? And I right-click again, and it's not happening. And it didn't say you need to resolve the assault. Same Panzer Battles. Well, Pierre, the attacker's losses will be shown first. Okay, he didn't. The attacker's losses are shown, followed by those of the defenders. What were the losses? Oh, I didn't look at it again. Enemies will retreat if they are disrupted, at least one attacker remains undisrupted by us. If they are disrupted and at least one attacker remains undisrupted by the result. Enemies will retreat if they're all disrupted and at least one attacker is not disrupted. Note that some assaults, the enemy retreat may be blocked. In this instance, even if disrupted, the defender will remain in place but will incur additional losses. In such cases, your forces, even though victorious, will not occupy the X. Remember, do not worry about the outcome. Do not worry if the outcome doesn't match the one we illustrated, as the results will vary with play. The images are shown 2 different results. Yeah, so we didn't advance into the X. It wasn't successful. But this one, he advanced in, and then you saw other German units. Images show 2 different. The top, the attackers capture the X, with the X now being occupied by units. More German units are revealed. The image on the right shows a defender holding the X as it remained undisrupted. Okay, fixed units. Okay, so that's done. We tried to attack there, but it didn't work. Okay. Up to this point in game, you were focusing on a small section of the map. Units around one point in the line where the Russians were in contact with German units. But There are still plenty of units on the map that have not been considered. As it happens, many of these units are not available to you this turn. They are present, but because of readiness orders or some conditions specified by the scenario designer, they cannot be moved. Okay. Press fixed units button on the toolbar. Most of the units are now highlighted. So it means this one. There. Okay, so this is all the units that can't move this turn. Wow. So it's only this lot, eh? Click on any hex with the highlight units and you'll see these units are designated as fixed. They'll be released for use at a later turn. So yeah, they're all fixed. Yeah, fixed. There's a fixed. Okay, then you can unhighlight them. Okay, so that's nice. That's a real nice. You can check to see any schedule of released units if you wish using the menu Units Releases. Now that you know which units are fixed, you can focus your attention for the remainder of the turn on those which are not fixed. A band of units clustered around the minefield belt marking the front line. So it says here scheduled and released. Releases. So this just tells you which guys are coming and which guys are arriving and which guys are releasing. I think. Yeah, released. Which guys will be released. And the time also. But it doesn't tell you when or where. These will be released. These are the fixed units. When they will be released. It doesn't tell you when. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna focus, let's follow this. Okay, engineers. Alright. Several of the unfixed units have the sideways E symbol on them. Or we're not playing with the NATO symbols, so we don't have that. We do. We can switch it. Well, we can switch it now to just show you. But you can see on the you see there's the E there. See there, it's got its NATO symbols there on it. So if I pressed, let's just say, yeah, you see there's an E, there's an E, there's an E. So you can see it. There's an E. All right. I don't like playing with NATO symbols. I hate them. I hate NATO symbols. I hate it. It's just, that's so obtuse. And I hate playing with NATO symbols. You never see me playing with it. But that just shows you there's several unfixed units have an E. The engineer units have a special capabilities. Place your cursor on any hex containing one of the engineer units and then right click on the unit window. The engineers have a number of basic and some specialized functions as outlined in the main documentation. See mine. As you see, this engineer can clear mines or build bridges. In fact, all three engineers pointed out on the right can clear mines. This will be handy because there's a lot of mines in the scenario. Okay, let's just see that. So what he means is, see this engineer there. See there, it says there. See where my mouse pointed? Mine bridge. And let's just see if we get another one here. And this one, mine clear. So clear mines and build bridges and clearing mines. See there, yeah. Okay, mines in real life are deterrent weapons, something to slow down the attacker's progress, allowing the defender time to react. This is reflected in Panzer Campaigns. Mines are deterrent, but will not stop a determined attacker with superior numbers. During World War II, the Russians were infamous for sometimes driving their forces through minefields, regardless of the cost. In contrast, most other nations usually adopted the stealthier approach for clearing mines and moving through with due caution. In this game, you're going to use the less cautious approach. You will plunge forward all available units into the minefields and overwhelm the defender in force while accepting the casualties. Double-click on each hex where you have an available unit and move them forward into the mine. So what's he talking about? He's talking about this, yeah. Okay, where's the fixed units? So he's these. So this is basically so he's moving. Okay, so he's moving. Like we must double click and move. So there's all that. Yes. Yes, it's all this bloody opportunity fire. It's a minefield, I tell you. Yes. Okay. Any means, I think this one, eh? Okay, so I think. Oh, there was move one down up here. Okay, so that we've got this. Let me just see if this is the one. Yeah, you must still move. Yeah. So you must move to there. And this is one that's can be moved as well. And he must move there. So he's moved that one and all of these. Okay, so now they've moved into the minefields. Alright, so we've done that. At the start of your next turn, where engineers are present in the minefield and thus undisrupted, one factor of mines will be removed each turn. So the engineers will do that. Minefields come in strengths of 1, 2, and 3, as shown by the value of the number of mines in a circle on each counter. Tip: there's no such thing as a friendly minefield. If you accidentally move a unit into a hex with a minefield you knew about but lost track of, you don't sweat it. It occurred quite commonly in battlefield then and to this day. As you move your units forward into the belt of minefields, you hear the sounds of mines exploding and a combat result, like you saw in the direct fire or indirect fire phase. Sometimes these results are shown as a yellow value, meaning your units were disrupted. I should have kept note of that. Did we get any disrupted units? Oh, he was disrupted. See, alright, so that's fine. As you move forward, sometimes you'll discover more German units behind these minefields. Occasionally, those units will respond to your movement with direct fire of their own. Enemy fire in your turn is called opportunity fire. So when he fires when you're moving, it's opportunity. At this point, you're now finished your turn, having moved all your available units forward. However, there are a couple of good housekeeping habits to get into. At this point in the turn, consider pressing the next stack button. Each press of the stack will cycle through all remaining units. Okay, so let's just see that. He's talking about this, yeah. So there, that red, see where the red is? There and there. Okay. Alright. When you're finished with what you've made every move that you can. Consider saving your file and then using the button or the menu save. Right? Okay. At the end of the turn, experienced players often save a copy of their file with a turn number. Then they repeat the file save as to the default battle file name. This way they can retain a backup copy of the file and keep a record of the game as it progresses for later review. I'm going to save this. Save as King. Okay, so that's saved. Finally, after you've made every move you can, fired every unit, and performed every action you wish to do, press next turn. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, let's read what happens. When you press the next turn, the controller of the game reverts to the other side, which in this case is the AI. Sit back, relax, and observe the action. It will likely start a barrage of artillery from unseen guns. This will be followed by small arms direct fire from enemy units along the front in contact with your units. You will see combat results with each shot. Some of them, unfortunately, will be yellow color. That means they're disrupted, indicating units has become disrupted. Sometimes your own units will fire back using opportunity fire, all under computer control, like your opponent's units did during your turn. When complete, the AI will end the turn and control will revert back to you. Okay, so let's just do that. So we're going to end the turn. I'm going to take this. Where's this thing? Where's the fix there? Take that off. Okay, so alright, so let's end the turn. Boom. down here. See, we have that red button. Just zoom out a bit. And the sounds are loud. Hey, the sounds are like real weapons, eh? Hey, there we go. Okay, so here's the report. Reinforcements arrived. Units have been released, obviously from being fixed. And these are all the units that were released. Air units are available. Unit clearing mines, obstacles arrived. So it gives you a whole big report of what's actually happened. Sapper Battalion. So there we go. Okay, turn 2. When the command report appears on your screen, control will be returned to you for your second turn. This time, for your second turn. Yeah, this time your report is much longer and has scrolling region. It reports reinforcements arrived, a lengthy list of units that have been released. Some units are reporting low ammo and will not be as effective at fighting this turn. Disrupted units are checked for disruption, recovery, and the command report tells you how many succeeded out of how many were checked. And some of your engineer units are reporting to have cleared mines. Click OK, and when you're done reading the command report. During the turn, you can recall the last command report by selecting the item under the info. So this, yeah. So I could always never remember this last command report. This brings up the last, yeah. This when your turn started, what was, so you could see what actually happened. And I don't know if this thing can, no, you can't go there. Oh no, it highlights. Oh no, it doesn't. No, you can't go there. Okay, but that brings up that last command report. Okay. Once the command report is closed, you'll notice a few things on the map. There are many more German units visible, and some are more than 1 hex away. You no longer need to be next to an enemy unit to spot him. Okay, there we go. See, everything is lit up here. Look at that. Okay, fair enough. Recall that turn 1 was at dawn. In the early morning light, you could only see one hex or 1 kilometer away. If you look at the status bar in the lower left hand corner, it is now turn 2 of 9, and the time is 6 o'clock. The indicator is showing the daylight turn. So there we go. We got daylight. So the white is all daylight. This, when the when the turn is there, it's dark. Now it's daylight or dusk. and then the grey is, I think, dawn, dusk, or dawn. Yeah, dawn in the beginning at 6, and then dusk. Time is shown in daylight term. If you look at the terrain info, you'll find the invisibility now 3 kilometers. This means you can see units at a distance of 3 hexes away, as long as you have line of sight to the hex. Okay, so he means by this now. So we can see 3 kilometers now. So obviously the units can see 3 kilometers, so they can pick up units that are further away. Okay. Many veteran players like to place newly arriving units or reinforcements onto the map as their first action. Press the arrived units button to see all new arrived. Okay, so there we got the what's come, the 48th Guards mortar and 110th Guards. Okay, what does it say about that? What do we have to do? Click on each line in the dialog to place a unit on the hex, or you can place all units on the map in a single action by using the place all button in the dialog. Normally reinforcements arrive on the edge of the map. However, there are situations where they arrive anywhere in the map. For example, this scenario, additional artillery units that were previously unavailable will arrive on non-edge hexes. So, place all. So we just place them all. Yeah. Or you could click on each one and say okay, I suppose. Okay. So let's go back here. You can now begin to fire your artillery. You move your units forward and prepare for the next round of assaults. Before that, however, move up a newly released rocket launcher. Locate this unit. To locate this unit, it is in travel mode as shown on the right. Okay, so now we're gonna. It must be this one. There, see? There's a tank and there's a HQ. Okay, so it must be that one, right? Reachable hexes. So let's just double click on it. Let's get reachable hexes. Okay, so it can go there. Okay. You'll see that rocket can move 4 hexes down the road. Right. Now press the save movement cost button. The reachable hexes highlighted area shrinks to how far this unit can move while still having enough movement points remain change out of travel mode after moving. Okay, so save. There. Okay, so you can only move there, which means you can move there and climb out of travel. Okay. Okay, so let's just move the unit. So now, and we can change him out of travel. So we can put him now. Oh yeah, he has a travel. I changed it. There is a travel mode now. Change travel. Okay, so now he's like out of travel mode, which means he can now fire. You can use him. He can now shoot. Right. Let's take this. Reachable hexes. Okay. Yeah. Now you know how to move your units, fire assaults with your forces, clear minefields, and call for air support. With objective markers on the map and the victory levels in mind, continue moving and firing your units in any manner you see fit. The end of the game will be announced on the conclusion of the Germans' final turn, at which the final victory points will be shown. You can restart the scenario at any time by selecting the file selection menu. A list of scenarios will appear from which you may select. After you feel comfortable with the scenario, the smaller scenario, you can move on to the larger campaign scenario that also is part of this demo. Maybe even enlist a friend or try Panzer Campaigns as you play against each other in the hot seats on one computer or anywhere in the world. Let's read on here. As added value to this demo game, player guide written by long-time Panzer campaign tester Robert Barker is included. Okay, there is no player guide. So they didn't include a player guide with this. Must be. See, there's no player guide. There's getting started. There's user manual, and then there's getting help. If you load the user manual up, this is the full manual of Panzer campaigns and how to play. All the detailed nuances and like it's got little graphs in here as well. Where's the graphs now? Oh, it's got, well, it just shows you little graphs. I just passed one now. I didn't see it which is like using the fire effect, what are the different ranges on the fire, how does it affect fire, and that sort of graphs. I think how big this manual is. It's detailed. This, they don't mess around here at the War Games Design Studio. It's detailed. Very detailed. Supply, provision with HQs. Check out this. Look how detailed this is. That's just a manual. And I think it was in the Panzer Battles one. It doesn't have that yet, the differences. But that's just the campaign's manual. So there's no player guide, Robert Barker. While getting started is designed to help increase your comfort level with the basic functions and the game controls in the series. The player guide PDF will help you master Panzer campaigns. Be sure to check it out. We don't have a player guide, but there must be something there. However, there is no substitute for reading the game's PDF documentation, which you can also access from the help menu. The user manual is a rulebook which explains all the concepts by topic. You can open the user manual from the help menu or pressing F2. The manual elaborates on topics discussed in the Getting Started PDF and outlines additional rules you need to become familiar with. It also contains a complete interface. Pressing F1 opens additional reference manual when playing the game. F3 loads the campaign notes that provide historical information about the events leading up to the Mius campaign and how they relate to other games in the series. It also describes the fighting that occurred in the sector during the period covered by the campaign. F4 invokes parameter data. It provides a host of information on movement costs, terrain, stacking limits. I loaded that up for you and I showed. Lastly, documentation on the game's editors can be found in each edit when each editor is opened. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to play the scenario. It's just going to take too long. It's only on turn 2 now, so it's going to take too long to run through all the cycles. But you can see, I think we covered everything. You can see that this is very similar to Panzer Battles. In fact, it's almost identical. There are nuances. I saw that I showed you in the Panzer Battles manual. There's that whole list. There are nuances, differences, but and also the differences also in the layout. Now you can see all this where it was just a bit different from Panzer Battles. The most important thing difference between Panzer Battles and Panzer Campaign is the range. The what do they call that now? It's 250 meters per hex, and it's a 1k per hex for Panzer Campaigns, and 250 meters per hex for 250 meters per hex for Panzer Battles, and 1 kilometer for Panzer Campaigns, and 40 meters for Squad Battles. So they're just up in, but your Panzer Campaigns is a larger, so you're mainly dealing with divisional and regimental, and I think the Panzer Battles in between, it's more like on the battalion level, or maybe that platoon battalion level. Very simple. You just right click and move, and you move. You see our assaults. Assaults are very easy. You go and you right click to assault. You get opportunity fire that covers you while you do that, and everything is on the right evaluated from the movement points. Everything runs from movement points, like your movement. Shooting and firing and stopping and assaulting all takes off movement points. And then your morale is C. Your HQs also work like with I think that's an HQ, yeah. It's an HQ, tells you HQ value of 7. I think that's the range, defense. So everything like Panzer Battles works the same way. Like you got the attack range of the hard, the attack of the hard, and 2 range. Soft attack value and the range is 2. So it's attack and the range. And assault, AA, defense, whatever. Very similar to Panzer Battles. There are nuances. Like I said, you check in the Panzer Battles user manual. You can see there's a whole list of differences, but it's subtle differences. Really, these two are very similar to each other. And it's simple to play. You really you've got artillery to shoot with. They highlight where they can shoot, right? You've got aeroplanes. When you click and you can, you just highlight where you're going to shoot. Whether you click there and you click highlight when you're going to shoot. You've got assaults. You can resolve your assaults here. All these top things here. So it's just, and then travel mode, which is the same as Panzer Battles, but they didn't show us the travel mode part and how to assault. So you got to assault. You assault the hex, right, with a right click, and then you got to resolve the assault for the actual assault to happen. And you can resolve multiple assaults together. So you can, for example, with this assault, you can add to the assault. So you can have one, let's just say, you can assault with that, right click, assault with that, right click, and I think I'm not sure how you can do that, but you can add to the assaults. So basically, you got movement, you got fire, you got opportunity fire, you got artillery that's indirect and artillery that's direct. That's all the basics of how this game moves. The real complexity of these games is in the number of units. Like, this is a small scenario. You see this small scenario. Now the big scenario has got like hundreds of units in there. So the real challenge of the scenario is playing a big scenario, because you can see the opportunity fire. When you end turn, hey, you can sit for like 5 minutes while the AI resolves all the opportunity fire. Now, I can imagine in bigger scenarios, you can increase the speed of it by quite a bit. I think the speed you change here, action speed, you can speed up top speed for the AI. Then he'll run through each one, but you don't get all the detail. So this is a detailed game. If you really want to serious about it, you have to get all the detail. You can't just run through everything quickly. But it can take a long time to play. And it's not through the complexity. The complexity of this game is the number of units. Not how it plays. Not how the game actually plays. The game is very simple. It's movement, assaulting, travel mode, and your different fire factors, and that's it. There's no like, these guys, just remember, these guys aren't carrying all separate weapons, like they're weapons, and this one's got a such and such a weapon, and that fires. They all got the same, they all treated the same weapon, they treated it as a unit of infantry, and that's how they fire and shoot. So this is simple to play, but the complexity comes with the numbers of units in one battle. I mean, a large battle like this, with all the units in there, it's going to take you a long time to play. 10 minutes to resolve the AI turns, and then figuring where to move each unit. So it can get involved in time consuming. I love these games. I do. My favorite is squad battles. I like squad battles because it's got the weapons in it. I'm not so. I love this type of warfare, the big, lots of, but I never find the time to play it, and I find it sometimes too complicated. Too many units, and I get bogged down by the units. That's why I love squad battles, because you got the rifles and individual rifles. You can shoot them independently, and they all got values for penetration. So, and it's a simpler process. But I mean, if you're looking for a great war game and you want to play like the Russian front at this level, divisional level, you can't go wrong with this game. It's one of the best ever made. I'm telling you that now. It's such a great game. All right, I think I covered everything. I hope I didn't miss anything out. I might have missed some stuff out. As usual, I always come back. I watch these videos. I do these videos, and I'm playing. I'm thinking, I haven't missed anything. Maybe I've missed something out, or maybe I haven't. And then when I look back, I review it. I missed stuff out. I should have said this. I should have said that. What did I say? What didn't I say? You know how it goes, eh? Always the case. All right, so Sean from Combat Simulations. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free. And also leave comments and suggestions. And watch my videos and like them and share them. Helps me a lot, I promise. All right, until our next getting started tutorial from War Game Design Studios. Good day on you.